It's the darkest, gloomiest time of year, but for some, there is one day in particular that stands out above the rest when it comes to being the saddest day of the year. That day has been dubbed Blue Monday. This year, it fell on Monday, January 17th, so yesterday was that day. Happiness researcher Dr. Gillian Mandich joins us now to help us get through with some advice and a few coping techniques this time of year. Good morning, Gillian.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Good to see you as well, and we call it Blue Monday, the most depressing day of the year, and there are plenty of reasons that might back that up, but scientifically speaking, we can't technically prove it's the worst day of the year, can we?
No, not at all. It would be impossible. There's so many factors. But how this actually came about, it was a travel company that was trying to sell travel packages. And so they created this equation with things like credit card bills coming in, time since Christmas, the weather, and they deemed this particular, the third Monday in January, the saddest one. But it's not. I mean, do we see moods dip for a lot of people at this time of year? Absolutely. But there's no one day that's necessarily the saddest day for everybody.
That said, though, it's a good opportunity to talk about ways to deal with a time of year that can take a toll on us, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, I think about Blue Monday as a way to do like a mental health check. So it's an opportunity for us to take some time and really reflect on how we're feeling, you know, and if we're not feeling great, then what can I do about that? What resources can I reach out to? You know, the Canadian Mental Health Association is a great place, a family doctor, you know, having that awareness and noticing how you're feeling, because the first step to changing anything is awareness. So taking the time to do that is really important, especially in the winter months.
What is the difference between actual depression? How do we identify those differences between actual depression and just a case of the winter blues?
Yeah, so one of the key factors that's different is that if you have seasonal affective disorder, which is a form of depression, but it's only experienced in the fall and the winter. So you see the symptoms go away in the spring and in the summertime.
Of course, this can be a very serious issue. So what are the signs that someone may be experiencing a serious problem and should actually get some help to deal with it?
Yeah, you know, if you're feeling down or blue, but it's we all feel down sometimes, we all feel blue sometimes, but when it becomes chronic or we're feeling it for a long time, low energy, low mood. Oh, my puppy is just moving here. He wants to say hi.
Who's that?
This is Jocko. This is my little pup. And you know what? Another way, if we're looking in terms of how we boost mood, pet can be an incredible opportunity for that because they bring so much joy, so much happiness, so much structure and routine. So he's helping me battle the blues over here.
Well, and that's I was just going to say, because dogs can do amazing things in helping lift our spirits and help us feel better and help us cope with some difficult times, can't they?
Absolutely. And I think especially when we're doing that mental health check, it's about asking, what can I do about it? And what are some of those things? Another big one is getting outside. We tend to want to hibernate in the winter, right? And yet sunlight, vitamin D is really important in terms of regulating our circadian rhythms, which is our sleep-wake cycle, as well as our mood. Especially if when we get outside, we're walking, we also see benefits in terms of our physical health, but exercise, gentle walking, whatever it is, can have mood-boosting effects while you're on the walk, but then afterwards as well. So some of those things that we can really set ourselves up for success by trying to do some of those healthy behaviors, even in the winter when it's cold and we don't want to go outside.
All right, so before we wrap up then, what are some of the resources out there for people who want to reach out and access some of those resources out there?
Yeah, so I mean, there are so many. A great place to start is with your family doctor or a trusted mental health professional, a therapist, psychotherapist, psychologist. And even if you're just wondering, because there's so much information on the internet, one of my go-to places is the Canadian Mental Health Association, because they have resources for people across the country, and it's credible. You know that you can trust the information there, so that's a great place to start. And the other thing, if you know somebody that you think might be feeling down or blue, it's also a great opportunity to reach out to them and to check in with the people that we love and care about.
I imagine the snow is probably higher than, you said, Jocko?
Yeah, it was so funny. I took him out yesterday. It was his first time seeing such a big snowfall, wasn't it, buddy? And you know
Unreal,
what?
60 centimeters?
Yeah, the snow was taller than him.
Well, there we go. And that's the time of year we're in. Really appreciate you joining us this morning, Gillian. Thank you so much for your time.
Always a pleasure, Chris.